Hello students, I hope everyone are doing good. So in the last class we have studied about the scientific notations. We have studied about how we can do the mathematical operations with the scientific notations. I hope everyone are clear about it. So in this today we are going to study about another thing. We are going to study about the significant figures. So significant figures. What are the significant figures? So in chemistry, we are dealing with lot of measurements. We need to take the lot of measurements when we are doing the chemical experiments. So significant figures plays a very important role in it. As well as when we take a particular measurement, we will say that that particular measurement is an accurate one, or we say that it is a precise one, right? So those two words also we often use in chemistry. So in this video, we are going to study about all these things. We are going to study about the significant figures as well as about the accuracy and precision.
Hello students. So the next topic that we are going to study is the significant figures. Significant figures. What is the significant figures? So when we are studying the science, we are taking lot of measurements. We will take lot of measurements like we need to find out the mass of an object, length, volume, etc. So we normally when in the science we used to measure all these things. So all these measurements that we are taking will not be absolutely correct. It will not be absolutely perfect. So there will be some degree of uncertainty in all these measurements. Okay, so there is some degree of uncertainty in these measurements. So this uncertainty in the measurements, it can be due to the uncertainty in the skill of that person who is taking that measurement, or it may be due to the tools that we are used for the measurement. Okay, so this uncertainty in the measurement, it may be due to the person who is taking the measurement, his skill, that all matters, or it may be due to the uncertainty or the problem of the tools that we are using for the measurement. Now, what is that I meant about using the term uncertainty? What is this uncertainty in the measurement indicates? Okay, so for example, we are going to measure the length of an object. Okay, so when I measured the length of an object, I got the measurement as 15.7 centimeter. So in this measurement, the digits which is coming after the decimal point, that is 0.7, is uncertain. It is not completely precise, or it is not absolutely perfect. So if that measurement is done by the others, they might have got the measurement as 15.8 or 15.6. So the measurement 15.7, that digits which is coming before the decimal point is certain. That means whoever is taking that measurement, they all will get the decimal points before, the points which is before the decimal as 15 itself. But the measurement which is coming after the decimal point can change. That is, the first measurement is 15.7. Look at the next measurement, 15.8. Again, 15 is a certain value, but 0.8 is the uncertainty in that measurement. 15.6, 15 is the certain value, but 0.6 is the uncertain value. Okay, so we can look at another example. Suppose we are going to measure the volume of a solution. I got the volume as 11.2 ml. Okay, and another person who is measured, it got the 11.1. The other person has 11.3 ml. Here the certain the correct value is 11, but the uncertain value is 0.2, 0.1 and 0.3. So certain value is 11, but the uncertainty in that measurement is the values which is coming after the decimal point, that is 0.2, 0.1 and 0.3 also. Okay, so how can we indicate this uncertainty in the measurement? So we can indicate the uncertainty in the measurement using the significant figures. Find out the number of significant figures that will indicate the uncertainty in the measurements. Now, how can we find out the significant figures? So, if we find out the significant figures, the last digit in the significant figures, that digit will be the uncertain value in a measurement. For example, if you are taking the first value 15.7, if we take that value, it has three significant figure. In that three significant figure, the last digit, which is the 7, that is the uncertain value in it. 15 is the certain value and 0.7, the last digit, 7 is the uncertain value in it. Now we can look at the next example. 15.68. 15.68 has 4 significant figure. Among that, the last digit, 8, that is the uncertain value. That means 15.68, in that digit 15.6, till that value the measurement is very perfect. It is accurate. 15.6 is accurate. After that, whatever that digit is coming, that is the uncertain value. So in this digit, after the point, 6 is there and 8, the last digit, 8 is the uncertain value. So this value, if it is measured by someone else, they can get the value of 15.67 or they will get a 15.69. Like that, they will get lot of values. But 15.6 is certain and they all will get a value of 15.6 itself. Now we can look at another example. We know that in chemistry we will be measuring very small values. So we can measure very accurately the mass of any substance using the analytical balance. If we are using the analytical balance, we will get a very accurate value. So for example, 4.6254, it is very accurate. So it has 5 significant figures in it. Among that, the last digit, that is the 4, right? 4.6254, that last digit is the uncertain value. So if it is measured by someone else, they will get a value till the 5, till that means 4.625, till that the value is very accurate and perfect also. That the last digit 4, that is the uncertain value in it. Now we can look at another example. 4.7 or 4.6. In this cases, the last digit is the first case it is 0.7 and the second digit it is 0.6. So the last digit is the uncertain value. So if it is measured by someone else, they will get a value, like 4.7. Instead of 4.7, they can get 4.6 or they can even get 4.8. Like that, they will get different values. But it is clear that in a measurement, there are certain values and uncertain values are there. Uncertain values is the last digit. The last digit, when we find out the significant figure, the last digit in the significant figure will give you the uncertain value in it. Till that, the values are very perfect, very accurate also. Now, how can we find out the significant figures now? So, there are certain rules that is associated with it. Now, I was telling about the significant figures. What is the significant figure? A significant figure contains certain digits and one uncertain digit also. So, certain digits plus uncertain digit will give you the significant figure. For example, 15.67. Among this, the last digit, that is 7, is the uncertain digit in it. After that other than that 7, all the other digits are certain digits. 15.6 is certain and the 7, that is the uncertain. So certain digits plus the uncertain digits will give you the significant figure. Okay, but 15.67 contains 4 significant figures. Now how can we find out the significant figures? So if we find out the significant figure, it will contain two parts in it, certain value and uncertain value in it. Now there are certain rules are there to find out the significant figures. Now one by one we can check all those rules. So we can look at the first rule. The first rule states that all non-zero digits are significant. So in a measurement, if all the digits are non-zero, we need to count all the numbers. For example, 5, 2, 3, 1, all are non-zero digits. So the number of significant figures are 4. Okay. Next example, 5000. Here there are 3 zero digits are there and only one non-zero digit is there. So the number of significant figures are only 1. We should not count the zeros present in it. Okay. So the first rule states that all non-zero digits are significant. What is the second rule states? The second rule states that zeros between non-zero digits are significant. That means if the zero is coming between any two non-zero digits, then we need to count that zero also. Okay, so now we can look at the example. So we studied that all the non-zero digits are significant. If the zero is coming means we should not count that. But if 0 is coming between any two non-zero digits, that will become significant. For example, 502. Here the 0 is coming between two non-zero digits 5 and 2. Then we should count that 0 also. So the number of significant figures here is 3. Okay, now we can look at the third rule. Third rule states that trailing zeros or the terminating zeros in a number with a decimal point are significant. That means if the zeros are coming after a decimal point, then we need to count that zeros also. For example, 5,000. 5,000 means we should not count that zeros. So there is only one significant figure. But if we are writing it is 5.000, then the zeros are coming after the decimal point, then we should count that zeros also. So there will be 4 significant figures in the 5.00. Now we can look at the next rule, fourth rule. Zeros preceding the first non-zero digit are not significant. That means if the zeros are not coming after a non-zero digit number, then we should not count that zero also. For example, 0.00. Okay, so here the zeros are not coming after a non-zero digit number. So what should we do? We should not count these zeros. For 0.00324. Here we have only 3 significant figures. We should not count 0.00 because all the zeros are coming after a zero digit number itself. The only zeros are there. In between no non-zero digits are coming. Next example, 2010. How many significant figures are there here? 201. So here 0 is coming in between. The first 0 is coming in between two non-zero digit number. So we should count that. But the last 0 is not significant. We have studied that, the first rule. All the non-zero digits are significant. So zeros are coming, it will become non-significant. So we have only 3 significant figures. Next example, 5.010. Here, first 0, 5.010. Here, all the zeros are coming after a non-zero digit number. So total number of significant figures here is 4. All the zeros are coming after the decimal point and after a non-zero digit number 2. Next example, 0.0023. Here the zeros which is coming after the decimal point is after a zero number itself, right? It's not after a non-zero digit number. Again, we should not count that. So, how many significant figures? 2 significant figures. Next example, 3000. How many significant figure? Here only one significant figures. All the zeros we should not count it. Okay. I hope you have understood to find out the number of significant figures. Now we can study how we can do the addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, all these mathematical operations using the significant figures. So the first one that we are dealing is addition and subtraction. Okay, so the addition and subtraction will be having the same rules itself, and it is somewhat easy to do the addition and subtraction also. So now we can look at how we can do the addition and subtraction. While doing the addition and subtraction, you should round the result to the smallest number of decimal places. That means after doing the addition and subtraction, you need to find out which digit is having the smallest number of decimal places. The answer also should have the same number of decimal places itself. For example, 36.95 minus 2.366. The answer is 34.584, but you need to round it. The answer, how can we round it? Look at the question. Which digit is having the smallest number of decimal places? The first digit, right? First digit is having only 2 decimal points, 2 numbers after the decimal point. Then second number has 3 numbers after the decimal point. So the smallest number is the first one itself. After the decimal point, only 2 numbers are there. So for our answer also, we should make it as the same like that. You should round it and write as 34.58. So 2 digits after the decimal point. Look at the next example. 13.56 plus 0.9447. So the answer that we are getting is 14.5047. Look at the question. So the first number 13.56 has 2 numbers after the decimal point. The next one has 4 numbers after the decimal point. So which one is the smallest one? 2 numbers, right? So our answer should be rounded off such that the numbers after the decimal point is only 2 digits. So 14.50. Now, how can we do the rounding? How can do the rounding? So there is a rule, you already know about it, how to round the numbers, but I will just tell you how to do it. So if the digit that we are going to round is greater than 5, means you need to add 1 to the next number, or if it is less than 5 means you just need to delete that particular number. So that is how you need to round or approximate a value. I hope you know it. If you are having any doubt in it, please contact me. Okay, so 14.5047. So we need to round it into 2 decimal points. So the digit is 4. So what you have, so if it is 4 means if it is less than 4, you just need to remove it. So you will get the answer as 14.50.
Now we can study how we can do the multiplication and division with the significant figures. So while doing the multiplication and division, round the result to the smallest number of significant figures. So here we are supposed to count the number of significant figures. In the addition and subtraction, we were counting the total number of digits after the decimal point. But for the multiplication and division, we need to count the total number of significant figures. For example, 2.5 into 1.25. So here when you are rounding off, or when you got the result, after getting the result, what you have to do is you have to find out whichever is the smallest number of significant figures. The answer also should have that particular number of significant figures. For example, 2.5 into 1.25. Okay, so 2.5, how many significant figures are there? It has two significant figures. 1.25, all are non-zero digit numbers. So it has three significant figures. Okay, so which is the least one? Two significant figure, right? So answer also should contain only two significant figures. So the actual answer is 3.125. So we can round and we can write it as 3.1. Okay, so 3.1 means it is having only two significant figures. Since the 2 is less than 5, we just need to remove that only. Okay, so this is how we are doing with the multiplication and division with the significant figures. The next example, 125 divided by 0.8787. Actual answer is 142.2556. Okay, so the first digit 125 has three significant numbers, and the last one 0.8787 has four significant figures. So the answer also should contain three significant figure, which is the least one. So 142.2556, we can round and write it as 142. Since it is 2 over the, we just can delete it. Now let us study about the precision and accuracy. What is meant by precision and accuracy? We often use these terms when we are doing chemistry experiments and all. Precision and accuracy. It is a precise value, or it is an accurate value. We often use these two words. What is it? Precision. Precision indicates the closeness of multiple measurements. So if you are taking multiple measurements, their closeness, that indicate the precision. Okay. Suppose when we are doing chemistry experiments, titration and all, suppose if you are getting three values like 11.2 or 11.3, and we got another value like 12.2. So when we are doing the experiments, we got three values, 11.2, 11.3 and 12.2. So here when you look at these values, 11.2 and 11.3 are very close to each other, right? They have closeness in their values. So we can say that these two values are precise value, or they have a precision, right? They have a precision. They are precise value. But 12.2 is a completely different value. So when you compare those two values, it is not a precise value. Here precision is not there. But 11.2 and 11.3, there is a closeness in their measurement. That values we call it as the precise value. Okay. Now what is meant by accuracy? Accuracy is the agreement of the measured value to the true value. So what is meant by accuracy? Accuracy is the agreement of the measured value to the true value. Suppose theoretically the answer is 11.3. Theoretical answer is 11.3. That is the value that we are supposed to get it. But we got the values as 11.2 and 11.3. So we have studied the 11.2 and 11.3. They have precision. They are precise values. But when you take the average of these two values, 11.2 and 11.3, we will get the answer as 11.25. That is, we can 11.25. We can round and write it as 11.3. So it is clearly equal to that of the accurate value, right? It is clearly equal to that of the value that we are supposed to get it. So we can say that our value is an accurate value because it has an agreement with that of the true value. Our true value is 11.3. So when we take the average and when you round it, we are getting the same value. So we can say that our value has accuracy as well as precision.
So what is a precision? What is a precise value? Precise value indicates the closeness of multiple measurements. The closeness of multiple measurement, we call it as the precision. Accuracy is the agreement of the measured value to the true value. If the true value and the measured value, value which we are measured is having somewhat equal, then we call that value as the accurate value.
Hello students, so I hope that you have understood about the significant figures, how we can do the mathematical calculations using significant figures, and also about the accuracy, accurate values and precise values. I will give you a small description about how you can approximate a value or how we can round off a particular value. Suppose I need to round off 15.23. I need to round off this value to 3 significant figures. 15.23. So when you are rounding it off, you need to take only 3 significant figures. That is 15.2 only is required. So after that, just check the digit next to it. It is 15.2. After what is the digit which is coming? 3. So check the number just near to that particular number. So it is 3 over here. So check whether that particular number is less than 5 or greater than 5. If it is less than 5, you just need to remove all the other digits. But if it is greater than 5, what you need to do is you have to add 1 digit to the last digit after the rounding off. Okay, so 15.23, when you are rounding off, you will get the answer as 15.2. Okay, but suppose if the question is not like that. Suppose the question is 15.27. I need to round it off to 3 significant figures. 15.27. So when you are rounding off, we need to we need only 15.2. But the digit which is near to the 2 is greater than 5. It is 7. So it is greater than 5. So when you are rounding off to 3 significant figures, if that digit is greater than 5, what you need to do? You need to add 1 digit to the last digit after the rounding off. That is 15.2 plus 1. It should be 15.3. 15.3 should be there. Okay. Take another example. So I need to round off 10.34 to 3 significant figures. 10.34. So it is, if it is 3 significant figures, what you need to do? 10.3 is only required because 4, it is less than 5. You just need to remove that value. But if the question is 10.39, what will be the round off value to 3 significant figures? It will be 10.39. When we are rounding off, what will happen? 10.4 will be the answer. Since that value is greater than 5, you need to add 1 more to it. Okay? I know that you are already aware about the rounding off, approximation and everything. So this video is a just small description, just revising what you know about the approximation.